Welcome to the Generation Kids Daily Devo podcast, where we move from wonder to worship, looking for God at work in the world around us, ready to ask the tough questions and discover what His Word has to say to us. Today's episode is titled, Goodness Gracious, and it comes from me, Casey Taylor. Yesterday, we looked at how the first part of our verse emphasized God, the Father, as the Lord, the main man, the one in charge over all, which the Bible calls sovereign. He's the one we look to when we're looking for the one who holds the keys and makes all the decisions. But not only is He in charge, He's our Father. So our Father is also Lord. He's our dad, and He's also the Alpha over all. This is who we're talking about as we continue in this verse. So let's keep building that picture of who God is when we talk about God the Father. I once heard someone give a talk, and he claimed that there were two main types of boys, the sensitive and the rough and tumble. The sensitive boys were more in touch with their emotions. They like to talk through things, and they do well when they get to engage in deep relationships. Where the rough and tumble boys tend to need to experience life and their relationships more hands-on. They want to play by tackling, wrestling, and engaging the world around them in a full-bodied way.
Let's wrestle.
My oldest son has, from a very young age, always been very clearly, if this man's talk is to be believed, the second type, the rough and tumble boy. He doesn't want to experience life through conversations or analysis of the mind. He wants to tackle it. And because he loves his dad, that's me, he engages me like a linebacker. It doesn't matter what time of day it is, how tired he is, what I have on my hands, or how it might affect me. As soon as he sees me, I might as well be a rock wall or a jungle gym or a tackling dummy. He's coming at me, all gas, no brakes. Because I love my son and I want him to feel like he can be himself around me, I don't mind it and I brace myself for it. But every once in a while, when I'm not paying close attention, or even when I expect it but haven't properly prepared myself, he'll collide with me and accidentally hit me where it hurts the most. And I know you know where I'm talking about. As a father, this actually becomes pretty normal, and you sort of learn to deal with the reality of a pain that you're feeling while also not trying to make your kids feel worse than they already do once they realize that they've hurt you. So you contain the pain, and instead of falling to the ground like you feel like you want to, you instead hug your kids and show them a graciousness that their actions might not have earned because you're their father. You love them, and you know that they're kids and that they do kid things. You don't punish them for being kids. You are instead gracious to them. This is how God is with us, as we see in the next part of our verse.
The Lord is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger, and rich in love. Psalm 145, verse 8.
Our Heavenly Father knows that we're His kids, and that we will make clumsy and desire-driven mistakes. We will be led by our wants and do things that aren't good for us. Sometimes that means we will do things that are sinful, and we know that sin is choosing less than God's best for our lives. And sin also separates us from God, which hurts His heart. But God, even as we wander far off from Him, bumping into and tackling sin, hurting God's heart in the process, He brings us near through the pain and is gracious to us, offering us mercy and kindness that our actions don't deserve. Because God knows us. He understands how we struggle. And He might be hurt, but He's never surprised by sin. He doesn't recoil and move away from us. He leans in and draws us closer to Himself. He wants us to see His love for us, even in the midst of sin's consequences, that we might learn to trust and love Him and choose life over sin. Because first of all, God is in charge, and God, our Father, is also gracious with us. He is ready and waiting with His graciousness because He loves us and desires nearness to us. Even when we smash things up in our lives, including God, He bears our burdens and heals our wounds. This is what our gracious God does, and it's who our Heavenly Father is.
Now it's time for
Today's Big Question!
Today's big question is, what is a time in your life that you've seen someone be gracious to you, even as you made a mistake that might have cost them? How did it make you feel to experience that graciousness? What did it make you want to do when you were around that person in the future? God's graciousness is meant to draw us in toward Him, not to push us away. How might we respond to God, our Father, as His graciousness covers over all of our mistakes? Thanks for listening to the Generation Kids Daily Devo podcast. If you want to keep in touch with us on all our social media platforms, check out the links in the description. And if you'd like to help support us as we continue to create meaningful content for kids of all generations, please subscribe to our Patreon by visiting us at patreon.com/wearegenerationkids.